What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for PlayPicks.com. Going to take a look at this Monday night football game here coming at you on a Monday morning here, coming off a pretty fun NFL Sunday, depending on how the bets went for you, the field goals and the different things like that, the extra points and whatnot. But certainly an entertaining Sunday. We had a classic announcer jinx talking about Justin Tucker never missed an extra point. What does he do? Slices it, makes it look like one of my golf shots. I see that slice every single time I hit a tee box. And yeah, just a lot of fun stuff happening on the Sunday that we just had here. Heading into Monday, the New York Football Giants are going to head down to the ATL, take on the Atlanta Falcons. Before we get into that, while you're here, hit that subscribe button. Really got to get the subscribe numbers up on this channel right here. You want to keep me employed. I need to stay employed. I enjoy being employed. Don't get me fired. Be on team. Keep Matt employed. Let's go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can get those numbers up. If you don't mind, appreciate it. All right, so here we are. Monday Night Football, Giants versus the Falcons, heading down to Atlanta. Looking at the numbers here on this game. Again, recording this on Monday morning. You know how this works. Bets come in, numbers change, but, I don't imagine it to get too crazy from what we see right here. DraftKings Sportsbook, we got 3.5, 52.5, 888, 3.5, 52.5. Same at FanDuel, 3.5, 52.5 right there. At BetStars, Falcons is 4 and 53. So obviously, if you're looking to take the Giants side, you might want to head over to BetStars in this one. So what are we looking at here from a game standpoint, guys? I mean, look, it was, if you're looking at kind of how these defenses play out, which is one of the things that I think is going to be the big talk throughout the day-to-day, is how poor both of these defenses are. And if you look at the numbers, it really does back up that these defenses are poor here. You can see right here, I mean, the Falcons defense allowing the second most points per game, third most yards per game, most points per drive, all kinds of things like that. And it backed up by the numbers here. When you look at the defense, Atlanta 31st overall DVOA, 29th DVOA versus the pass, 31st DVOA versus the rush. So we are looking at a poor defense on the Atlanta side of the ball. Of course, if you followed this team at all this year, you understand they've just been beaten up by injuries. I mean, just injuries all over the place to very, very key players. They haven't really been able to recover from that. That said, they are going to get a guy back this week, which I think could help them out pretty well. But on the Giants side of the ball, it's really not much better when you look at the Giants here. I mean, this is a team 27th overall in DVOA in defense, 27th versus the pass, 22nd versus the rush. So you're looking at a team here that is not much better on defense. We're looking at two poor defenses tonight going at it down there in Atlanta. How's this kind of going to play out from a pace standpoint? I mean, you're looking at Giants want to play slow. I mean, they're 29th in pace whenever it's a situation neutral type thing, but they're not really situation neutral. They're trailing a lot. And when they are trailing, they actually increase it a lot here. They're all the way up to 12th fastest in the league whenever they're down by 7 points or more. Should they be down by 7 points or more in this game to Atlanta, then we're going to see a pretty fast-paced game. And Atlanta just wants to play fast all the time. They're 10th overall and pretty much top 10 in all the different situational circumstances for this Atlanta Falcons team. So shouldn't be a slow game. Should have some plays running this thing. Should see these guys have opportunities to score here. If you look here, I mean, this is one of those things we just mentioned. Atlanta 31st DVOA versus the rush, and Saquon Barkley is going to be a very big target in this game. When you look at how this goes, Atlanta allowing over 8 catches and 70 yards to the running back position, catches and yards to the running back position. They just cannot cover guys coming out of the backfield. And we know Saquon Barkley has been a big part of this Giants offense. So I expect him to see a lot of targets in this game. I expect him to rack up yardage through the air for sure. One of the things that we're going to be watching for sure. On the other side, when we're talking about offense, you're going to have Julio Jones matched up against Janoris Jenkins. I think that's a very winnable, very beatable matchup for him. I think that I think somewhere in the article here, Nate even mentioned something about Janoris Jenkins, and he has given up, I think, 4 or 5 touchdowns over, right here. 4 touchdowns over the last 2 games. This is a matchup that Julio Jones is going to win more times than not. So be sure and take a look at that. Again, about that Giants defense and guys like Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and things like that, is Giants on the fifth most passing plays of 20 plus yards so far, 25 of those already this year. And of course, this Atlanta team has just got guys that make big plays. Even Mohamed Sanu can do that still these days. Of course, on the injuries front, Devonta Freeman was put on IR, but they still have Tevin Coleman, who they were using tons anyway in the rush game. Ito Smith was a guy they were working in even when Devonta Freeman was back. So certainly a guy that they're wanting to get involved in that offense. So I'm not really worried too incredibly bad about that. Olivier Vernon came back for the Giants last week, so he has another week under his belt of being back for this team. So sure he should be able to get involved a lot more in this thing. Whenever we look at the picks and how things are going so far, about 70% of the bets are coming in on Atlanta at 3.5, minus 3.5 here, as well as about 70% of the money. So a lot of people think that Atlanta is going to play well at home in the Dome here. The total here has actually come down a little bit. I've seen it as high as 54. Of course, we saw it whenever we were looking at the odds up here at 52.5. Pretty interesting when you consider that we've got two really bad defenses here and one very capable offense from the Falcons side of things. And from the Giants, I mean, they've actually played a fairly tough schedule so far. So when it comes to, rush defenses and different things like that, it hasn't been a cakewalk for this team. So this is their first layup when it comes to defenses that they're going to play. So pretty interesting that total's coming down. I actually lean towards the over side whenever we're talking about the total here. But really the play for me is going to be the Falcons here. Falcons at home in this game, where I just think that they're going to, when you have two bad defenses, I tend to look at who's got the better offense, right? And the better offense is clearly the Atlanta Falcons in this. I mean, just about at every single position, you could say that they at least match up. I mean, obviously not at running back, Saquon Barkley, generational talent here, but I mean, Julio Jones and Odell 1-for-1, right? And then you look at secondary receivers. Calvin Ridley's been playing crazy good. Mohamed Sanu's been playing crazy good. So even the secondary receivers comparable there as well. Tight end, they lost Evan Ingram on the Giants side. Austin Hooper's been a huge part of this game as well. So now where's the big edge here? It's at the quarterback position. The quarterback position, Matt Ryan has been playing basically at his MVP level of a couple of seasons ago so far when you just look at the numbers and how things have played out. And Eli Manning has just turned to dust in front of our very eyes. The guy is old. He cannot throw the ball down the field anymore. You see Odell Beckham losing his mind, Sterling Shepard losing his mind on the sidelines because Eli Manning can't get on the ball even when they do beat their guys and they get open and things like that. And so in a situation like this where it's two bad defenses, two capable offenses, but one just has a glaring advantage in the most important position in the entire NFL, which is the quarterback position, you can pretty much get me back on this Falcons team 9 times out of 10 here. One of the other things I said, one of the injuries, Grady Jarrett is going to be back for Atlanta. And this is a big thing. I know we don't, defensive linemen and stuff like that. A lot of people don't pay attention to those things, but getting him back in there against a defense that has been so bad, getting a guy like Grady Jarrett back in there is a huge upgrade for this team as well. If you're wondering where people are going from the total side of things, about 72% of bets and about 60% of the money is on the over in this one. So, I mean, listen, like I said, I lean towards the over in this one, but my real play here is Atlanta, 3.5. If you want to play the other side here, like we said, there are 4s out there. So you can go to BetStars, you can get the Giants +4 over there if you want to go that route. Another thing that some of these sports books are doing over there in New Jersey, if you're in and or around that area, a lot of promos that are going on tonight. FanDuel Sportsbook, like a 14 or more point win on a money line bet, and they'll double your money up to $100. That's a promo that's going on. It's at FanDuel. DraftKings is doing all kinds of odds boost. I had too many to list, but go and look at, just click on the link here in the article and you'll be able to see, but they're doing all kinds of different odds boosts and stuff. BetStars actually has one. It's +125 for Matt Ryan to throw for 300 yards and for Julio Jones to go over 100 yards. I mean, it's a very correlated play. If Matt Ryan were to go over 300, you would assume also Julio Jones would also go over 100. So basically the question is, do you think Matt Ryan's going to throw for 300 yards? Because just about every time he throws for 300 yards, Julio's also going to go for 100 yards here. So pretty interesting stuff how they're doing all these different promos for these island games and these standalone games. So be sure and take a look at that as well. But again, as we sit here, Monday Night Football, DraftKings, 888 and FanDuel, Falcons 3.5-point favorites, 52.5. There's a 53 out here at BetStars and a Falcons 4, which would be a Giants 4, because you're gonna want to go there if you want to bet the Giants side of things in that one. Who do you guys think wins? Who do you think covers? What do you like with the over-under? Let us know in the comments. If we start getting enough comments on these things, we're going to start doing giveaways, so be sure and be active with that as well. We'll just randomly start picking people and give away Amazon gift cards and things like that, because we certainly want to give back to you, the viewer. We appreciate you watching this as well. Hit that subscribe button while you're here. Head to playpicks.com/bonus, bonus. That is all the very best sportsbook and DFS bonuses on the internet. Free money offers there as well. $25 completely free at DraftKings Sportsbook. $10 completely free at 888 Sportsbook. All you have to do is click our link and sign up for an account, and that money will go in there so you can do everything risk-free. Appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you guys later on in the week. Good luck tonight. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. While you're here, hit that subscribe button right down below. Make sure you never miss a video. When you get done doing that, please head to playpicks.com/bonus for the very best deposit bonus and free money offers on the internet.